In this video, you will find a series of exercises focused on advanced data wrangling using functions from the Tidyverse package. As you go through this video, press pause after each question. Try to find the solution yourself and then unpause the video when you think you have an answer. We will then demonstrate one possible solution to each of these questions. Let's begin. The first thing we need to do is install the Tidyverse package, if you haven't already done so, and then load it. For these exercises, we'll be using a dataset called happyFull. Run all the code in the second chunk to load this dataset. After running this code, keep an eye on your console to see if R is asking you for some input. First exercise. Choose all the rows between and including row numbers 50 and 100. There's a function from the dplyr package that can easily be used to answer this question. Pause the video and see if you can find the answer. We can use the slice function, setting the n parameter to equal 50 to 100. Next, choose the 3 countries from each region that have the highest generosity scores of those regions. Pause the video and give this a go. Here's one possible solution. First, we group by the region variable, and then we use the slicemax function on the generosity variable, setting the n parameter to equal 3. This gives us our solution. Finally, we can just select country name and generosity to better see the output. Next exercise. Select only those columns from happyFull that contain the word score in their names. Pause the video and try to think of a solution. We can use the helper function contains within the select function like this to solve this exercise. Next, move the generosity column so that it appears after the region variable. Take a minute to identify a good function from dplyr that you can use to answer this question. That function is relocate, and we set the dot after parameter to equal region to ensure that generosity now comes right after region. Now, select those columns from happyFull that contain more than one underscore. This is a tricky question, so feel free to use the Stringer cheat sheet for this one. Pause the video and enter your code. We can use the matches selection helper that allows us to use this regular expression. Notice that all the column names in this data frame that contain more than one underscore have one or more non-underscore characters between the underscores. And this is exactly the pattern this regular expression is asking R to search for. Next, compute the ladder score for each region. Arrange the output so that Southeast Asia appears first. As a hint, you might find the FCT real level function from the forecats package useful here. Pause and enter your code. Here's one solution. We first use mutate and FCT relevel to change the levels of the region variable so that Southeast Asia appears first. We then use group by and summarize to compute the mean ladder scores for each region, ensuring that Southeast Asia appears first in our output. Next up, plot generosity scores for each region as box plots in ascending order of median value. Pause the video and think of how you would answer this question. The key here is to use the FCT reorder function within ggplot, like this, that ensures that the resulting box plots will be arranged in ascending order of median value. Next, compute the means of all the numeric variables separately for each region. Pause and enter your solution. One approach is to first group by on the region variable and then use the selection helper where within the across function within the summarize function. Although short, this code is quite dense, so take some time to really make sure that you understand what each function is doing. And we see that we get the desired output. Notice, however, that the output column names are a little misleading. It would be helpful if they each had the word mean appended to them. As a bonus, we can easily do this by modifying our previous code by setting the dot names parameter within the across function to equal mean underscore open curly brackets dot call close curly brackets. And we get this more nicely formatted output. Final question. There's a lot going on in this question, so make sure to break it down into smaller chunks. First, divide each numeric variable by the sum of all the numeric variables for each row. Then, multiply all these values by 100. Finally, save the output data frame as happy_100 and confirm that the row sums of the original numeric variables in this data frame all equal 100. Hint: first compute the row sums for all the numeric variables for each country. Pause the video and think about how you would achieve each of these steps. Here's a solution that uses row-wise and column-wise operations in the same line of code. First, we use row-wise and see across to compute the row totals of all the numeric variables and save this in a new column called total. As row-wise is a grouping function, meaning that it groups by row, we must use the ungroup function before moving to the last line. After ungrouping, we can use the across function to divide each numeric variable by the total column, and then finally multiply by 100. We save all of this as happy_100. Finally, to confirm that we've got the right answer, we can check to see if all the rows, excluding the total column, sum to 100. Again, we can use row-wise and see across in tandem for this. And we see that row sums, excluding total, are indeed all equal to 100. And that's all for this set of exercises. If you found any of this challenging or confusing, please watch or re-watch the videos that describe how these various functions work.